Alright, time for another video. Suppose I might as well talk about Colapinto and Williams in general, because Colapinto is proving to be really good. So you're gonna have to talk about him, even though he doesn't have a seat for next season. He's made a problem for Williams by being so good. And I suppose we might as well talk about Sainz and his decision as well, and where Williams go from here. So Colapinto, this young driver, has proven to be quite exceptional, quite the talent. He's come in for the sequence of Grand Prix. I suppose, was it easy? Uh, Ones are not as difficult, although it's a bit more frustrating if you're not a good driver because you can't actually make gains. But well, there's so few avenues to make gains. But well, it proved to be quite handy at Monza. Proved to be quite handy at Baku. It's proven to be quite handy at Singapore. Perez is giving him props on the radio because he's very difficult to overtake. He looks difficult to overtake. Not that he's doing anything untowards in regards to the rules, but, well, it's a good driver. It's a really good driver. You know, if you were pondering, oh my god, they've been really harsh here to sack Sargent mid-season, well, at this point, kind of wondering why they didn't sack him sooner. Although I suppose James Vowles backed himself into a corner with how much he was coddling Sargent last season. So he had to stick by him for no doubt longer than he would have wanted to. But now the executive decision has been made, he's been outed, and Colapinto has proved that decision in no time at all. I mean, he could do nothing for the rest of the season, and he would have already been better than Sargent. So it doesn't really matter what he does from here. I'm pretty sure he's not going to fall off, though. Hey, he's a really good driver, this Colapinto, bro. A really good driver. He's definitely got some Grand Prix wins in him. I wouldn't say a championship, but he should win some. He should win a few Grand Prix here and there. But who knows? He may be good enough for a championship. I'll wait to see what he looks like in better machinery. Will that be at Williams? Who knows? Williams looked to be heading in a pretty decent direction now with James Vowles, although that was to be expected. Let's be frank. That was to be expected because James Vowles is a bit of an operational genius. It makes things run smoother. If there's anyone Mercedes should not have lost, it's probably James Vowles. It's probably him. But well, this is the way things are right now. Williams look like they're on the up. And the signing of Sainz no doubt helps that, aids that ambition. Because, well, our Sainz is going to bring in whatever sponsorships he brings. Williams already is a prestigious name. They'll be able to bring in money of their own. They'll probably be able to actually fulfill, well, do I say fulfill? They'll actually stretch their budget cap, let me say, by actually by actually stumping up enough cash on account of the sponsors they'll be able to pull. And it looks like they can do interesting things with little money at Williams now that they've got, well, a proper head of the operations in James Vowles. Why did Sainz opt to go to Williams? I can only assume James Vowles said something to convince him. That's all I can really assume. And Sainz had options. He could have no doubt gone back to Red Bull, but does he really want to go back to Red Bull? He could have probably done the Audi thing, although does he have faith in Audi to produce a winning car right away? It's a very difficult thing to do in F1. Even Audi themselves are balking on that idea. And anywhere else that he might have gone is either too volatile or Alpine is just too volatile in operation. or it's just occupied. Well, the seats are just occupied, is what it is in regards to Sainz. Although I am led to believe some of his decision making has been made off the back of some of his philosophies. Because there's a lot of snakes in F1, and I don't think Sainz wants to be one of them. Because that's the framing that makes the most sense for me in regards to Sainz going to Williams. Jonathan Whatley going wherever he's going. Going to Aston Martin? No, he's going to fucking Audi. So he no doubt doesn't want to be involved with such a character. Whatley. What a fucking... Anyway. Anyway. No doubt caught wind, knew he was heading to Tracy Martin. Would there have been a seat offer for him? Probably, I must say they probably would have. I struggle to believe that Daddy Stroll would not cash in on having Alonso and Sainz in the car for 1 or 2 seasons, and then you put Stroll back in. But anyway, maybe that's a bit too much for him. Maybe that's a bit too much for Project Stroll. Otherwise, Alpine, there was a seat at Alpine, but yeah, Alpine are too volatile. And now that they're not interested, now they're no longer interested in having Renault as the engine supplier. So Renault in dire straits, by the way. I'm not interested in Renault. they shackled us with this formula, and then they didn't give a damn about it. So I don't really. No, I'm not fussed if Renault are to bounce at this stage, because we'll get something better in the future without their input. Yeah, otherwise the Alpine situation is just too volatile. I wouldn't put a driver there. If I was managing a driver, I wouldn't put a driver at Alpine. Except for job security, I suppose that's what Gasly did. But anyway, things are looking up for Williams. Who knows? Williams might do the McLaren leap next season. That would be crazy. But that would be crazy. I tell you what, Albon's gonna really get tested next season. He's already being tested by Colapinto. Oh my god, I can't believe he dive bombing over there. Hey, that wasn't a dive bomb. That was just a well executed overtake on the first lap at the first corner. I don't know why he's bitching about it. I suppose 4 wide and he's on the outside. He's having to wait to turn in, but the start's a dynamic place. The start's a dynamic place, Albon. You gotta be ready. You gotta position yourself better, quite frankly. Or if you're gonna put yourself on the outside like that, be brave. Be brave. If you can see the whole scene unfolding before you, you can see a gap that's not going to be occupied in the very near future, and you can aim for that. But anyway, we'll see what happens with Albon for the remainder of the season. And next season, I don't believe assuming he maintains this level of driving, which I have no reason to assume he will not. I do still have sour grapes that Red Bull didn't just hold on to him and develop him for a season or 2 more. But anyway, I'm of the belief he could be doing what Perez is doing. Oh, what is Perez doing right now? What is Perez doing right now? Goodness me. But anyway, Albon. Yeah, I'm not of the belief that he's gonna be under pressure to maintain his seat, unless Colapinto does something that's undeniable in the closing stages of the season. Unless he does something so good out on circuit that Albon's days are suddenly numbered at Williams. But I just don't see that happening. I just don't see it. I mean, Colapinto's good, but something crazy would have to happen. You would have to finish like 5th or something. Don't see that happening. Anyway, that should be the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Peace.